Hello, hello. Welcome to our channel's weekly news update for the week of April 27th through May 3rd. This also doubles as the new weekly Ko-fi channel trailer. So if you're on the Ko-fi looking at this, stick around to the end and we'll be talking about some of the Ko-fi benefits. To be more specific, we're going to start this off by talking about this week's YouTube videos and content that's coming to YouTube, i.e. showing some of what Ko-fi supporters would be getting, or what they're paying for, you know. We'll then talk about the vote going on the Discord to determine what game will be played after Death Stranding. We'll then move on to talking a little bit about Ko-fi benefits, and then we'll talk about some of the current standing results on the various votes going on over at the Ko-fi, and cap it off by talking a little bit about Hero Infinite. So, you know, I'm trying to make these all the more informative for Ko-fi supporters, and make this more worthwhile for Ko-fi supporters, as well as show people some of the benefits that come with being a Ko-fi supporter. And speaking of benefits that come with being a Ko-fi supporter, big thank you to our existing supporters, Candlecorn, Saddlebag, Books and Smiles, Barbara. An additional thank you to Destratos at the 1.5 supporter tier, and a double thank you to Atomic Squid for being a double supporter. Thank you. These wonderful people really help the channel every single day in just little ways by supporting. And now let's quickly look at this week's YouTube upload schedule. We are still deep into Hitman. This week we will be finishing off the 7 Deadly Sins, paying a little visit to a famous actor who's known for dying quite a bit, and then moving on to the incredibly delightful Patient Zero quest line. Oh, also doing a few other bonus missions before heading into Patient Zero as well. But yeah, good stuff. We, meanwhile, on the New Vegas end, we are still deep in Vegas. You know, we finished Old World Blues, we're back in the main world, we are going around getting all of our teammates together, and just starting to get the ball rolling on doing Mojave missions again, as we start to lean in on trying to figure out exactly what faction we'll be siding with. Meanwhile, Death Stranding is ticking ever closer to its finale with its daily uploads, as we just inch closer and closer to being finished with the series. That's it for the things that are going up every single day. Then on the singular video, or the bonus videos that go up on one a week, you know what I'm trying to say. On Monday, we have more of Ina Dream Barbecue, a delightful time. We have plenty more Doodlezar on Wednesday, Thursday, and Friday, with Doodlezar appearing in playing Grounded with me, playing Borderlands with me, and being in this week's episode of Shadow Space. Just a reminder, Shadow Space comes out once every 3 weeks, so the next 2 weeks there will be other series, and then the week after that will be another episode of Shadow Space following the one we're doing this week. And then we cap off the week on Saturday with another episode of Hero Infinite, which also stars Doodle alongside several of my other friends. Colossus, the Crustacean Devastation. I let the players name it, and I think they came up with a very good name. But yeah, so a good chunk of content. I'm trying to make these segments where I just talk about what's going up faster, and I think I'm doing good with it. And with that done, let's now take a look at... Hang on. Okay, I'm trying to get fancier with things. Hang on. Yeah. Let's talk about the Discord vote. This is excuse me. The Discord vote contains every single game that has ever been suggested to me by a viewer, as well as several games I've added myself, and is being used to determine what we will play after Death Stranding. Now, on the Discord vote, we have 2 brand new contenders. Or not 2, we have 4, sorry. We have 4 brand new contenders. Because I now have the ability to record my Wii. I was able to dig up 4 of my old Wii games, and I figured I'd throw them on the vote. So, you can vote for me to play Spore Hero, Six Flags Fun Park, Pixar's Cars the Game, or Okami are all now available. Just join the Discord link down below for free, and you can vote for what games you want to see me play. Currently in the lead with... Oh wow, that looks different on my different computers. The emoji they use. In the lead with 10 votes is Death Stranding 2. Now, since that is not out yet, and Death Stranding isn't going to run us through 2 when it releases. We're going to bridge the gap between Death Stranding 1 and 2 with a project I want to do of trying to make a Death Stranding board game. That will remain the case unless something is able to beat Death Stranding 2, which the best contender is in second place with 9 votes, Paper Mario The Thousand Year Door remake. So, like I said, Death Stranding 2 will begin being played as soon as I get my hands on it, and to bridge the gap, we're going to just do some fun Death Stranding adjacent projects while we wait it out, because I only need to filibuster in like a couple of months worth of content. I think I can manage that. Meanwhile, in third on this vote with 8 votes, which, man, these are all so close, all it takes is 1 or 2 of you to head over to the Discord and completely upset the balance of this. So, you know, this is very easy for you guys to influence, and it's the completely free vote. Halo 3 ODST is in third, coming in very close. It's literally a 1-point vote separating everything. In fourth place with 7 votes is a tie between South Park The Stick of Truth and Super Hot. Then in fifth with 6 votes is all of these games: Alien Isolation, Cursed Halo, Halo 2 Uncut, Dying Light, Oxenfree, Titanfall 2, The Witcher, Amnesia The Dark Descent, Just Cause, The Lion Song, Watch Dogs, and V Rising. So if you like the sound of any of those games, go and vote. And hey, there's still plenty of other games with 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1 votes all distributed out there for you all to go and take a look at. Moving on from the Discord vote, let's talk a little bit about the Ko-fi and the benefits that come with being a Ko-fi supporter. So, where is your money going? To me and the channel. All money donated is primarily, at this point in time, going towards giving me a more stable living situation. And if I can get that, I can give all of you better content, more content, just overall improve the channel. I am currently in the process of trying to find a second job because I'm not earning enough to pay rent, and as soon as I have that second job, the result is going to be a dramatic decrease in the amount of content hitting the YouTube channel in all likelihood. A lot of the bonus series will just start to be hitting the chopping block and dying off in all likelihood. Now, we have a couple of milestones for long term here. If we can hit $1,000 in monthly donors, I will be able to quit one of the 2 jobs, meaning I will be able to put more content out for all of you on a more regular basis as a result. I'll still be working 1-day job, but I won't have to work 2 anymore, and I'll be able to take reduced hours in the job that I keep. The next more significant milestone is the $2,000 a month. If we hit that, I will be able to quit both my day jobs and dedicate full time to doing YouTube. Now, if that happens, I will begin a second Ko-fi supporter picked series right alongside Hitman. So whatever's winning in the Ko-fi vote, when we hit $2,000, boom, playthrough of that will begin. Because it would just be such a difference in my life, and I would then begin to be able to put money towards other things and have more free time to do other things. If I'm able to hit this $2,000 a month and do this for a living, we can see I could potentially start another tabletop campaign on stream for all of you. I could play more Gary's Modern Lethal Company with my friends. We could bring back Two Brothers potentially, which has had to go on hiatus because mine and my brother's lives are too hectic to sit down and record. And I'd begin putting money towards the channel to get things like a face cam, to potentially have a VTuber model, or do you laugh you lose videos, or to invest into a VR headset, because I already have a VR ready computer just sitting here being used for all my streaming. Why not get the headset? Then the last milestone is $3,000 a month. If we get to that point, I will feel comfortable enough to begin employing a full-time editor who will make edited down versions of my Let's Plays to create, big, large-scale, interesting videos, and I may be able to just, in general, have better edited videos for all of you. So, that's sort of the long-term goal of the Ko-fi. Let's talk about what's in it for you immediately, right now. If you donate at all, not even as a monthly subscriber, you get access to these things. Monthly votes that influence the future of the channel. Anybody who donates even $1 can partake in them. You'll also get access to seeing the weekly post-stream news updates that I put out regularly, and the weekly Ko-fi news updates, which, honestly, a lot of the information that went into those is now mostly showing up in here. with how I'm adapting things to make these videos more informative. But, you know, you'll still get access to little bits of extra news that others don't, and more frequent, more reliable updates on what's going on, which you can also get more reliable updates for free on some things by joining the Discord below. But, so that's what you'll get if you donate at just any amount, not even in a subscription basis. Now, if you join for a monthly auto-renewing subscription, donation, then you will get the ability to request what specific things appear on some of the votes, such as the "What game should I play next" vote. Everything that appears on that vote is determined by Ko-fi supporters and the things they ask me to play. You will get credits in every single weekly news update, as we showed off earlier. You know, you'll appear on here. Hang on. And you'll also get credits on a mention in the credits of my first game, Marble Island Roll, if and when I ever get back to developing that. I say if. I want to. I will, when I get back to developing it. I've been trying to find the time to do that right now, but hey, that's where I go back to if you donate enough, I can bring back things like that, and Sunless Sea. A lot of series that had to die off because I didn't have the time can make their return, potentially. Now, if you join at the higher tier of 1.5, you get all of the previous stated benefits, as well as a 5x5 pixel art sprite next to your name that if you ask for it, I will send it to you and you can do whatever you want with it, use it as profile pictures or whatever. Early access to some of my shitty fanfictions I'm writing, and access to unique Heart of Action content that I am developing. Most of it right now ties to Hero Infinite, a little bit to Shadow Space, but I'm working on other things that have been voted on by all of you, which we'll go over later. Then if you join at the double tier supporter for 10 and up, your sprite goes from a 5x5 to a 10x10, and you get a second vote on all active polls, allowing you to have more direct influence over what happens on the channel. If you join as a triple tier supporter, you get a third vote on all polls, a 20x20 sprite. I don't know why these ones came out fuzzy. Google Slides doesn't like my 20x20 sprites for some reason, turns them all fuzzy. And you will gain the ability to design a character to appear in Shadow Space or request your favorite fictional character to appear in Hero Infinite. More on that later. Well, actually, I'll talk about the Shadow Space one right now, and then the Hero Infinite one later. So if you donate at this tier and you want a character in Shadow Space, you and me can talk, we can hash out the details, and I will create a character that you have come up with the concept for in the setting. This won't be a major recurring character or a party member, but it will be somebody who will be there and the players will get to interact with, as a fun little, nod to the people who have supported me. And then there's the joke support tiers. These are two tiers, $100 and $1,000. I don't really expect anybody to do, but they're there if somebody wants me to suck their dick. If somebody wants to donate that much to me. If you did, I would, 1, cry, and 2, be incredibly grateful. If you were crazy enough to donate $100, becoming a solid gold supporter, you would get all of the previous benefits, a 40x40 sprite next to your name, 4 times the votes on all polls, access to gold exclusive votes, which will also result in a gold exclusive playthrough. So an additional playthrough in honor of gold supporters would be started that only gold supporters could pick what game I play, meaning if there's only one of you, you would just get to pick a game and I'd play it. And you would be invited to play games with me, like Tabletop Simulator, Lethal Company, Gary's Mod, Repo, whatever. You would be invited to play those games with me live on stream. And then the last tier, don't or platinum level supporter, $1,000. All previous benefits, a 5th vote added to everything, an 80x80 sprite instead of 40x40, and you name a game and I will begin a playthrough of it. I don't care what it is. You could ask me to play an adult game, you could ask me to play Five Nights at Freddy's or Harry Potter, games that I would never play otherwise. Anything you ask, I will figure out how to make it work and begin playing it if you donate at this degree. Now, with all of that out of the way, let's talk about the votes going on the Ko-fi. So, this week we'll see the transition from one month to another, meaning all of these votes that I'm looking at right now will be closing, so you have your last chance now to get in and vote on them, and they will be replaced by new votes that you can partake in. So if you become a supporter right now, you can donate, go and vote on all of these votes, and later, by the end of the week, the new votes will be up, allowing you to immediately vote on those as well with a singular donation. Very worthwhile. This is the optimal time to begin supporting if you've been considering it. So, first vote. Oh yeah, this is a reminder, just of how the votes work. The votes reset every month, but they carry over all of their votes from previous months. So the longer you're a supporter, the more votes you get to make, the more effect you have on the polls. You know, people have supported longer just by virtue of having been supporting longer, are able to vote more often and have their votes add up, you know? All supporters can partake in the votes, even if you're not a monthly subscribed supporter. But monthly subscribed people, even those who donate $1, can request the things that appear on them. And by requesting a game... Did the music playlist stop looping? The music playlist stopped looping. Hang on. Why did you stop? Why did you switch to City Skylines when I told you to loop the playlist? There we go. I'm a professional. Anyway, quality content, I know. Yeah, everybody who's requesting a game, just the virtue of requesting it automatically gives it 10 votes, meaning if 2 people are requesting the same game, that's adding 20 votes to it. And you are allowed to change your request at any time with your change in request moving over to the next month. And so long as there's at least 1 vote on that old option, it will stay there in all future things, meaning every month you can request a new game, vote for it and all of the previous games you asked for, and just as a result, you know, get multiple games you would want to see me play appearing on the polls. There's already a couple supporters who aren't even requesting games, so you guys get over there, you know? Get in your requests each month of what you would want to see me play. If something gets its request changed before anyone votes on it, it will be removed. That happened once with Hollow Knight, where somebody requested it, didn't vote for it, and then stopped supporting me. So I was just like, okay, Hollow Knight's removed from the poll, because no one voted for it. But yeah, currently the only one that I'm taking requests for is What Should I Play Next, but in the future I will likely set up more ones where you guys can make specific requests. So now, let's go over vote results, starting with the What Should I Play Next poll. In first place, with 26 cumulative votes that it has gained over the course of its time on the poll, Halo 3 ODST as requested by Atomic Squid. This game is something I'm very much looking forward to, and so as soon as we beat Hitman and all of his DLCs, which will take some time, if this is still in the lead, it will begin being played. But meanwhile, in second place, with 16 votes that it's gained over time, Mass Effect, as requested by Barbara. A very well-known series. I'm very interested in trying out the first game and slowly easing my way through it. I've heard the ending is a massive disappointment, but you know what? I've heard it's an amazing RPG anyway. Next, in third, with 14 votes, Bring Back Nightrome, as requested by Saddlebag. Long-term viewers know that I was doing a playthrough of all of the Nightrome developers' Flash games for a while. And I just basically had to step away from it when the channel was going through some changes, and I do want to get back to it eventually, but this is one way to make it happen faster. Then in fourth, with 10 votes, is these 3 games. House Flipper 2 as requested by Books and Smiles, Turnip Boy Robs a Bank, and World of Goo 2, both of which were added by me at a point in time when there was very little options on the poll, and I've been just floating on the poll since. Slowly accumulating votes, despite not having the bonus from being requested by people. Now with that out of the way, let's talk about the next poll. What should I adapt into Heart of Action? I mentioned I was going to talk about this later, and we're talking about it right now. Heart of Action is my tabletop role-playing system that I've been developing for the better part of a decade. You can find the basic rules of it linked in the Discord down below, if you would like to give it a try yourself, and you can see it in action in series such as Hero Infinite and Shadow Space. And I would love to start adapting just for the fun of it different games I have played on the channel into the system to show its flexibility and diversity. And so I've decided to begin holding a poll to ask what game you guys would like to see turned into tabletop the most. Currently in the lead with 2 votes on it is the Halo franchise. I'm talking with my friend Atomic Squid, trying to figure out some of the in-game background mechanics and statistics of weapons and enemies in order to help me create the systems as well as I can and create a tabletop adaptation of everybody's favorite FPS game. In second place, with 1 vote, is all of these franchises: Half-Life, Dishonored, Bioshock Spore, Minecraft Death Stranding, Super Mario, Metro 2033, Legend of Zelda, Atomic Heart, Fallout, post-nuclear role-playing game, Prey, and Doom. All of these are games that I would love to try and turn into a tabletop format, yes, even Minecraft. And if you support me and go and vote, you can, if there's one you really want to see, go over and vote for it. And then, just as a few extra options I've included that I've received 0 votes so far, are Borderlands and Sunless Sea. 2 more games I'd love to make tabletop adaptations of, if you all show interest in it. So, go partake in that vote. Now, the next vote we're going to talk about is the What Should I Write vote. Give me just a moment. Slight distraction, sorry. Yeah, the What Should I Write vote. Okay. Yeah, sorry. Words. Hang on. Sorry, slight distraction there. Yes, the What Should I Write vote. So, some of you may know, I have an AO3 account. I was harassed into making it by a few viewers on the Death Stranding series, and I've begun writing shitty fanfiction. And I decided to hold votes to let all of you decide what I should write shitty fanfiction about. Currently in the lead, with 1 vote on it, Fallout New Vegas Outsider's Mark. A hypothetical, scenario where I basically went, what if the Outsider existed in the world of Fallout and gave his mark to Courier 6? Now, it won't just be Courier 6 getting the Outsider's mark, but many other characters in Fallout lore. In theory, I am writing this so people who aren't fans of either property can still enjoy it. You'd all have to let me know how I'm doing, because I'm not an experienced writer. Currently, the prologue is out on the AO3, and I've been releasing teasers for the first chapter over time as I've been writing it on the Ko-fi for all of you to go and hunt down and look at. Yeah, good time so far. Meanwhile, with 0 votes, the other options I have are all of these. So, Bioshock Fallout basically goes, hey, what if Jack from the good ending of Bioshock 1 emerged and found not a normal world, but the post-apocalyptic world of Fallout? Can you tell I'm a fan of Fallout? And Bioshock 2 Fallout does the same thing, but with Eleanor Lamb. Basically taking 2 of my favorite FPS game protagonists and plopping them into the world of Fallout and imagining what would happen. Then there's Dishonored, Time of Plague, which would be an original story set in the world of Dishonored prior to the events of the first game, during the rise of the Rat Plague. A Fallout Van Buren-inspired story, which I don't really have a name for. I am missing a D on design there, and it says Azine. Whoops. I've thoroughly read through the Fallout Van Buren design documents. It is a fascinating concept to me, and I would love to use that to write a concept for a game that takes place after the events of Fallout New Vegas. So, that's there. Next would be Legend of Zelda Scars of the Past, a Legend of Zelda fanfiction that takes place almost immediately after the ending of Tears of the Kingdom, following Link and Zelda as they try to rebuild the kingdom. Yeah. And then the last one is Soul Eater. Next, a fanfiction based off of the anime and manga Soul Eater. If you've read or watched, you would get an idea. You have an idea for the world. It'd be far too hard to explain here. But yeah, fun concept. So if you'd like to see me write any of these, go vote for them. Let me know that you're interested. Next is the Hero Infinite section of this, where we're just going to touch on this briefly. I mentioned that Hero Infinite is a tabletop campaign I'm running, and it can be best described as shitty fanfiction, the campaign. All of the players in the campaign got to request a bunch of their favorite fictional superheroes and supervillains, and I am slowly integrating them into the setting, and the campaign has an incredibly large and diverse number of players, all of whom pop in different times at different weeks in order to partake in this interconnective superhero adventure. Now, because there's so many different players telling so many different plot lines, you don't actually need to watch every episode to understand everything else, and that's why I've made this viewer guide. View order guide, yay! So we have episode 0 is where you could start if you wanted to. Episode 0 just has me giving a brief rundown of the series, so you can watch it or you can skip it, but it might give you an idea of what you're getting into. And basically, the further right an option is, the more of the things on the left you need to have seen. So episodes 2, 5, 1, 3, 4, and 8 are all completely standalone episodes. You can watch them without having looked for the context of the other episodes. They all tell their own self-contained stories. I will say, fun fact, episodes 2, 5, and 8 and 4 all take place on the same night in lore, and episodes 1 and 3 on the same day. Fun! Episode 6 requires that you have watched episodes 1 and 5 before it. Episode 7 requires that you've seen episodes 6, 3, and 4 to get the full context. Episode 9 requires that you have seen episodes 7 and 8. Episode 10 requires you've seen episode 9. Episode 11 requires you've seen episode 10. And episode 12 requires you've seen episode 11 and 2. Makes sense? And yeah, currently episode 10 is the one debuting right now, so this gives you an idea of what you need to have seen to see some of the upcoming episodes, or to get Now, you could watch any of these episodes without watching the others, you just might be missing small amounts of context on what's going on. Characters won't get reintroduced every episode, so if a character is a pre-established, pre-existing character in the series, you might be like a little lost on like, wait, who the hell are these people? But yeah, fun stuff. Yeah, that is this week's weekly news update and everything you need to expect. Good times. Yeah. There's going to be more polls hitting the Ko-fi, and I will be going over those in next week's weekly news update. A bunch of new, really 2 new big important polls are going to hit the Ko-fi, substituting out what is currently a whole bunch of disconnected, random, sporadic ones. And yeah, but a thing I want to say about in regards to the Hero Infinite thing is you can, if you join at the tier of Ko-fi supporter that, what was it? Was it the triple tier support? If you join as a triple tier supporter, I mentioned that Hero Infinite is a cheesy fanfiction campaign, so we have characters like Miles Morales, Dr. Olivia Octavius, Space Ghost is in this campaign's world, the Yellow King Hester from the King in Yellow novel. Loads of fictional characters have just been put into this world based off player requests, and more will be added as time goes. And if you join as a triple tier supporter or higher, you can request a character. Oh, sorry, I'm just stretching. You can request a character you want to have introduced to the setting, and in the polls of the Hero Infinite, there's going to be polls to help me determine what characters to put in. The character you request will gain extra votes automatically through virtue of being requested by you. Yay, the same way that game character requests, or gameplay request things work, you know what I mean? You know what I'm saying. But yeah. Man, 30 minutes, that took a hot minute to record. But hey, it's both a channel trailer and a Ko-fi trailer. So, hope you're all looking forward to the content coming out this week. Hope you might consider donating to the Ko-fi after having seen all these benefits. Love all you very, very much, and ta-ta for now.